First of all, how to launch a sold-out jewelry collection in 2026. And 2026 is super important here because the last time I did a presentation on how to release jewelry pieces and all that stuff, it was such a long time ago. AI didn't really exist. And in today's world, I hope you're exactly the same as me, but I cannot imagine my life without using artificial intelligence. So you're going to hear a lot of tips and tricks on how to improve your workflows and especially launches using different artificial language models. So let's start with a fun fact. The global jewelry market hits almost 365 billion in 2024, and it's almost about to reach 600 billion by 2033. We might be seeing a lot of things about economical recession, about gold prices going up like crazy, silver and all of that stuff. However, rest assured you are in the right industry where people are going to spend more money nevertheless, regardless of what economical position is happening in the situation is happening in the world. So most small brands are leaving this opportunity entirely on the table, allowing those limiting beliefs about, no one wants to buy jewelry, or my jewelry is too expensive, or there's always someone cheaper selling something better. Those limiting beliefs sometimes restrict the way that we move forward with our business. And it's not because the work isn't good, not because the jewelry isn't beautiful enough, or there's not enough people to buy that jewelry. It's because your launch is not planned well enough to sell. So, session at a glance, very, very quickly, what is it that we're going to cover? And also, what are the things that are absolutely essential for you to take into consideration when launching either a new jewelry piece or a full collection? We're going to go through 7 launch strategies or visibility strategies that are essential for you to understand before you start creating the frame of the launch itself. We're going to go through a general launch timeline blueprint that I've created to generally work for the majority of independent jewelers, competitive research and positioning, content strategy, photography, and AI visual production, which is something I really hope that you have. If you haven't fully implemented yet, at least you've started playing with certain language models to be able to adopt. We're going to cover AI for launch management, audience and community building, waitlists, early access and sales windows, user-generated content, influencers and collaborations, email marketing sequences, SEO and GEO, as well as brand audit, giveaway and Q&A that we're going to be covering in the very, very end. This is a very exciting opportunity for anyone who is still a little bit stuck in their business and unsure, what bottlenecks to remove in order to move forward. Okay, so the 7 launch strategies. First one is for all of the brands with an established retail or wholesale presence. And I kind of summarized it as a seasonal drop. And I think majority of you are very familiar with it, right? So majority of the brands, at least in the high street, they cover winter, spring, summer, and autumn. They fully align to fashion calendar. And it really works well with established retail brands or businesses with a really strong wholesale presence, right? So it works best when it's paired with a strong campaign concept, so aka strong videography, photography, and that really makes the timing intentional rather than reactive, because you don't want to be like, oh, I just realized winter season is starting in, I don't know, in 1 month, and my whole feed is still looking, super summery with plants and short sleeves kind of visible. So we don't want that. And Tiffany & Co. is a perfect example of how to use the seasonality, but also make it work for you. So for example, what they've done, and this is your reminder because rules are there to be broken, right? So what they've done when releasing the Blue Book in 2025, they did 2 reveals. They did completely seasonal. So they did the spring reveal in New York for the US press, and then they did a fall autumn gala in Milan for European market. So they harnessed exactly the same product, split it in completely 2 different seasons. Launch strategy number 2, and it fits any brand at any size, okay? So this is called Hero Piece Launch. I'm going to expand on it a little bit more in the future, but this is everything you need to know about it for now. you have to lead with one signature piece if this is the strategy you want to adopt. Highest leverage model for independent jewelry business owners, and definitely not used enough for jewelry founders that don't produce big collections. So for example, you want to launch a collection with 6 items, this is for you. You want to launch a collection with 3 items, again, this is for you. And this is how Tiffany's Tea, Cartier's Love, and Bulgari's Serpenti have kind of like been turned into these cultural icons, right? Even like you think about Serpenti to Bogus watch. Is that someone's having a microphone off? Can you make sure that everyone's microphones are switched off? Thank you. So for example, the Serpenti to Bogus watch, it started as a kind of a single piece in multiple colors, and then it turned into necklaces and the whole iconic collection that we easily recognize Bulgari with. It's completely underused at independent level at the moment, the hero piece launch. Number 3, this one is for brands that are ready to access a new audience quickly. And I'm talking about a collab drop. So the partnership is the news. Partner relevance beats any follower count. So for example, you can approach a person whose ICP, ideal client persona, is exactly like yours, and them having 8,000 followers is more than enough for you to work with in comparison to a big influencer with 1 million followers. So for example, we can see what's happening with Missima and Lucy Williams. They've been partnering for over 10 years, and Lucy has been the face of some collections. She has kind of become the face of the brand. She actively works with Missima's creators when designing jewelry. You know, for example, they recently released the Full Circle collection to celebrate their whole 10-year milestone collaboration, introducing diamonds into everything, and it's absolutely fantastic the way that they do it. Or Catbird NYC, they collaborated with Met Cinema for their lab-grown diamond collection. So all of those 5 pieces were tied to the Met Costume Institute. So you don't only necessarily have to work with influencers or stylists or creators, you can work outside of the box with ceramic makers, with artists, with museums, with, I don't remember what brand was it. I think it was Millie Savage or Millie Savage from Australia. They've collaborated with Toyota, I think. So the opportunities are absolutely endless when it comes to sharing audience with someone else. Okay, then we have brands that have a warm audience, but that audience needs re-energizing, rekindling, kind of, it needs to be woken up. And I'm talking about limited capsule drop. This is where time or quantity limited releases are the most important. What this does, it trains your audience to move fast when you post. Sold out announcement is in its marketing in itself. For example, you release a 6-item collection and say, okay, we only have 100 pieces available, and once it's sold out, it's sold out. That's it. As long as you honor your words, it's absolutely fantastic. And once something gets sold out, the announcement of it is already a message of value, a message that, okay, this was a fantastic collection, and you kind of missed out by not being a part of the community that have purchased from it. Then we have brands that want to shift their positioning up market or into a new audience. If that's you, it might be worth thinking about campaign-led launch. What does that mean? So this is where visuals or film material comes first. Campaign, the word in itself, you've probably heard it a lot. I work with campaigns a lot. Well, we don't only do a photo shoot, but we also create a whole story about the brand, right? We create a 20-day visual sequence that tells the story from the beginning to the end on how this collection should become a part of your life and your lifestyle. So aspiration and storytelling are so much more important than any transaction or any monetary value that the piece is kind of, conveying. And yeah, content here is absolute king. Then if you are an independent maker with limited stock or limited production, waitlist and community are absolutely key for you. So here we want to reward community with access, but not with discount. So when you think about it, a lot of the time we collect data from our clients, so from people who have purchased in the past or people who are interested in getting discounts through offers, right? You're going to have a birthday discount, you're going to have a discount just before Christmas or Black Friday, and the newsletter is one way to access that information. Now, what we're talking about is wait lists. This requires the audience segmentation in a completely different level. There's no discounts, there's exclusivity. It's the most loyalty building model. For example, we have a Timberg when it comes to wait lists, right? So if you go on their website right now, you can already see coming soon tabs on certain products. So they have developed, you know, this whole collection that is not out yet. And if you see it, you're like unwanted, you're going to be more engaged with the brand and come back to their website multiple times just to see what the update on the piece is all about. Or Jewellery, they have the M Plus membership that converts the waitlist into a loyalty product. First access, free shipping, easy receipt tracking. Everything that has been bothering, you know, people for such a long time can be solved just by becoming a member of M Plus. And finally, a strategy that is great for everyone is occasion and gifting. And I'm going to be sharing some crazy mind-blowing facts for you in a second. But I'm talking about Valentine's, Mother's Day, Christmas. However, it only has to be a part of the revenue layer. It's never the sole strategy to only be focused on Valentine's, Mother's Day, Christmas, Black Friday. And this is something I want to say completely taking out of the hat. I want to say that 80% of jewelry makers that I work with, they fully focus their launches on occasions and gifting. However, this is not how successful launches happen. 4 amazing statistics that I found while doing research for all of this that I would love to share with you. Valentine's Day. During Valentine's Day, jewelry is the #1 category by United States dollar spend. In 2025, jewelry gifting hit a record of $6.5 billion in the US only. So people have spent almost $7 billion just in jewelry. So whenever you think that, oh, there's no one there to buy my pieces, you're just probably not targeting the right people. Christmas, Valentine's Day, and Mother's Day together account for nearly 60% of annual jewelry sales. This is crazy, right? November-December period generates around 40% of annual profits for majority of independent jewelry brands, and 81% of Mother's Day jewelry purchases in the UK, this is for my UK audience, they are made on mobile. I feel like so much of online shopping has already moved to mobile, right? But you really have to look at these numbers and think, when was the last time you actually browsed something on your own online store on the phone? And this is a crazy thing, right? I invite you, after this webinar goes, please go to your store and double check. Is everything 100% okay there? Because this is exactly what people who want to buy from you see. And if there's anything, if there's a single bottleneck that makes people think like, oh, this is so confusing, or I can't find it, or, oh, you know what, this is not trustworthy enough, that's a buyer gone. So that's definitely something that we don't want to happen. So today's framework is going to be kind of like a mix and match of some things that I've mentioned before and some things that I think everyone should incorporate. So first, we're starting with limited capsules, celebrating hero pieces, focusing on campaign storytelling, putting everything into a 4-week timeline, and then kind of like putting a cherry on top in the launch strategy and introducing waitlist mechanism. Now, I'm going to go to the comments now, and I would love to see how many of you have done a wait list before launching a collection. I'm going to stop sharing the screen so I can actually see what everyone's saying. And I want you to quickly write it down. Have you ever done a wait list before launching a collection? No, I have not. No, we have 4 no's. Come on, I need at least someone to say yes. Okay, someone, Toyosi said yes, but not really pushed it. Okay, email subscribers have early access, but remember what I said, email subscribers are a different audience to your newsletter, to the waitlist people. People have thought about it, but no. Okay, so I think it's pretty fair to say that 99% of people have never done a wait list. Okay. Okay, Sarah has said, I did it once a while ago during COVID, which worked, but you never tried again. Sarah, why did you never try it again if you found that it had a positive impact? I'm just wondering. And Morgan and I are saying, can't even get people to sign up for the email list in general. I'm not sure how to make a wait list work. Okay, I think this is something that a lot of people can actually relate to. Okay, yeah, Katerina is already saying this is so relatable. We're going to touch on that in 1 second. Let me share the screen again so that we can move forward. Okay, hope everyone can see me okay. Sorry, I'm a little bit slow today. There we go. Okay, fantastic. So let's start with the launch timeline blueprint. I really want to focus on the fact that this is incredibly individual for every single one of you. So there is a difference of how a brand with 800 followers and a brand with almost 1 million followers launch. There's a difference between a person who manufactures everything in India or China, somewhere in another part of the world, how they launch, and how jewelry makers that make every single piece themselves launch at the same time. There's no right, there's no wrong, there's no good, there's no bad, but the difference is clear. And I really want you to understand that this launch timeline blueprint is mainly for independent jewelry makers that have capacity and they have the ball rolling. However, it can be adapted to everyone in one way or another. But for that to happen, you need to know your brand inside out. So the most probably successful way that you can try in your next launch when it comes to launching a jewelry collection would be starting with the tease. And I'm talking about 2 weeks prior to the launch. So let's say we call it week -2. We start teasing people with what is it that we're going to release. It can be a super highly cropped image or material close-up. Enough to kind of create curiosity, but not enough to satisfy it. So we're not talking about the product name, we're not talking about product price, we're not attaching any influencer faces to anything. This is just like teasing people saying, okay, or these are the diamonds I'm choosing to work with, or okay, this is the design that I've drawn that I'm going to try to, bring to life. The goal is a single question in your audience's head. What is that? Okay, so then we're going to go to revealing. So the hero piece is revealed front and center, carried by a visually strong storytelling campaign. So this is where the hero aspect and this storytelling campaign aspect come together and make a beautiful campaign baby. Why are you releasing this particular piece? Why now? And why you? This is where we really want to tell the story using founders' content, which I know so many people are so terrified of, kind of sharing with the world, because that requires so much effort, like being in front of the camera and talking to your audience one-on-one kind of a thing, which feels like that. But the full story is out, the desire is built, and the waitlist is open and actively promoted. This is where you put the waitlist out. The product is visible, the conversion point is ready. So this is kind of like all of the behind the scenes of what you need to do before you're actually introducing everything to people. During the launch week, we have a full 7-day campaign window. We have the waitlist people getting the access first, then the public getting the access to make the first purchases. We want to post daily content throughout: styling, close-ups, social proof, founder stories. We want to really emphasize on urgency in days 5 and 6 and close hard on day 7. Every limit that you mentioned before during the week -2 and week -1 have to be on it. If you said that you only have 100 pieces out after selling 100 pieces, you're done. If you said we're making this one-of-a-kind piece and once it's out, you're not making another one. So really think about the limits that you set in the very first place. And afterwards, we work with a hangover. So the hangover is is a term that I've learned last year, and it really stuck with me, because a lot of the time people post all of the content that they've created during the campaign and then they stop. And there's a huge pause between, the last post about the newly released collection and what's going to happen next. There's like this weird break that doesn't have a symbiosis between the past, present, and the future of what the brand has, in stock. So the most important thing is that the hangover is very nice and smooth, incorporating the future content and does like without dropping immediately. So the rest of the collection here is still supporting So at first in the launch week, we really moved forward with the hero piece. For example, a bracelet, a very, very cool bracelet in 3 colors. And in the hangover, we start introducing the pieces that complement it. This is where we start focusing on the bracelets, the necklaces, or the bangles, or the necklaces, or the earrings, or stacks, kind of like pushing everything forward to it. So this is, for example, I've done analysis for one of my favorite clients a long time ago of how David Yurman release their jewelry collections, and it changes, depending on the collection and depending on their budgets. But they always start with a very strong campaign visual. So, for example, in that case it was the girl driving the car. Sorry, there's a little glitch here because they actually posted this video twice, and I wanted to make sure that I got that right. So they posted carousels with multiple models, even though they always tend to choose one main face for the campaign. Then halfway through the campaign, no, maybe a third into the campaign, they started releasing men's range. They said, oh wait, this is actually not only for women, this is for men too. And then they focused on a more male driven content. You see, even the photography, it has gotten moodier, darker, with more heavy shadows. And they had like a weird little Oscars break where they didn't post like anything apart from the Oscars. And then they moved very heavily into kind of like CGI content that now anyone can really do with AI these days with just a little bit of training. Then another campaign video, more kind of AI, eye-catching stuff. This is, bear in mind, March 2024. You remember when everyone was kind of experimenting with a completely new technology that now, again, it's accessible to so many people. And then it kind of started, mixing and matching and going to men, going to women. This is like a very nice interview about what David Yurman jewelry means to the face of the campaign. I love what they did here, which is the collaboration method. They took a wonderful artist, what's his name? The Billy Keogh, and he, filmed the whole reel with kind of like him doing his stuff with David Yurman's jewelry. And finally, to close the campaign, the way that it started with a car, driving into something, they ended the campaign with a car, leaving and the journey continuing. I think this is actually the final thing. So the whole campaign took between 21 to 24 days, and they released what? Bracelets. It was literally cable bracelets. That was what, 3 products that they released in reality, incorporated with old pieces that they had. Is absolutely crazy. Okay, is everyone awake? Is everyone good? Okay, awesome. So what we have now is competitor research and positioning. Okay, one second. I've just realized I'm not sure if I'm recording this. I really hope I am. We'll see about that later.
Yes.
Yeah? Okay, cool. I was like, I'm pretty sure I'm recording it.
It's a platform recording, and there are like transcriptions also, like.
Okay, perfect. I was like, I'm talking quite a lot of useful information. I really hope I'm able to reshare it at some point. Okay, then we move to competitor research and positioning. I have a question to everyone again. How many of you have done a proper competitor analysis where you looked at what products they launched, what content they create, what are they very, very good at, and what are they very, very bad at? I'm going to give you 1 minute, and I'm going to stop sharing the screen because I really want to read your comments again and see how many of you have done competitor analysis, a proper one. I'm going to be waiting for you in the comments. Okay. Oh, it's a mixed bag, isn't it? Okay, someone did a deep research, someone's never done that. Okay, yes, except did not analyze what they do badly. That's very interesting because you have to remember, a lot of brands change their marketing teams. A lot of brands don't have marketing teams. A lot of the brands are just, people behind the bench making jewelry and trying to make the marketing work. So what I mean by that is that a lot of people don't know how to do things 100% correctly. If you look at your competitors, there's tons of things that they do better than you, but at the same time, there's tons of things that they do worse than you. And there's even more things that they do worse than their competitors and the people that they really look up to. Okay, so 100%, Paul has done the competitor analysis. Awesome, people have done it. Okay, yeah, you can definitely, Paul said he's done technical open source intelligence. That is absolutely fantastic. I mean, there's so many tools right now, both paid and unpaid, that you can use to dive deep into the sales, the best-selling products of what your competitors sell. I think in the past webinar, I mentioned that I love the website that's called particle.com. I'm going to message you here, particle. I think it's .com. It might be particle dot something else. Just put like the particle into Google. What it does, it uses AI to scrape the biggest brands' Shopify data. And whilst it's not 100% accurate, it does give a very good understanding how big brands are using email marketing. What are the best-selling products? How are they stocked up on Shopify in terms of silver, gold, rose gold? The data that you can access using Particle is insane. It is paid. I'm personally using unpaid version, but yeah, it has absolutely fun. It's not like a promotion. It's just a tool that I absolutely love geeking out on. Okay, let's continue sharing the screen. So these are the questions. These are the questions that you should be asking yourself. Oh, actually, first, I want to show you this. So this is the document that I really hope every single brand owner and a jewelry founder has. I'm not gonna fully delve deep into it. I want to scroll through it. This is the information that you should know about your competitors. This is the market research we've done for one of the brands that we were helping to launch last year. And it includes every single thing that you need to know about the competitors, from the products that they have similar to yours and how they're performing, to how they're marketing it, how the market is treating your category, the seasonality considerations, audience insights, keywords insights are absolutely essential, especially when we're going to be talking about SEO, the general paid media distribution consideration, because maybe, just maybe, your investment into Meta is completely not necessary, because TikTok will perform much better for you, right? One of the most interesting finds that we've discovered. Yeah, it's working. Sorry, I can't multitask or just fully zoned out. One of the most interesting things that we've discovered when doing that research for them, because they were an extremely niche diamond business focusing to the UK market, was that Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Pinterest were not the primary places that they need to be. The most important social media or search channel that they had to be focusing majority of the time was Reddit, because Reddit had, I personally don't use it, right? But there's such a big community of people that get educated and that search for things over there. And for a niche, completely new product that they were introducing to the market, that was exactly what they needed to be. That's exactly where the answers, where the questions that arose for everyone who were purchasing the products would be answered in the long run. And this was a whole weird SEO tactic to just fully move to Reddit. I really hope you can make a screenshot of what this page is all about. These are 10 questions that you should 100% know about your competitors before releasing your next jewelry collection. Screenshot it, save it, print it, do something with this, but every single question needs to be understood. What is their hero piece? What language and calls to action do they use? What are their top posts in the last 90 days? So what do their highest engagement posts have in common? I'm not talking about follower count. I'm talking about specific post engagement. Is it the type of content? Is it the lighting? Is it the fact that it's super tied in with their branding essence? What is it? Do they have any material gaps in their past launch? For example, have they released in white gold and completely skipped rose gold? And why is that? If your target audience is matched, maybe they've done enough research to know that it just doesn't make sense to produce any rose gold anymore. And you might as well learn from their mistakes and not even worry about creating content for rose gold when it's not going to sell, right? Learn from the data that other people have already gathered that are in your exact niche. What is their tease duration? How long before the launch did they start posting first pieces of content? So this should tell you how long their audience has been trained to wait. If your competitors, the core competitors that reflect and copy your target market, for example, they are fast buyers and they only need 3 days to make a purchase, well, maybe you don't need a 6 week or 7 week or 8 week launch window, because that's just not something that it responds to, right? Understand what your competitors do and why they do it. Question number 6 is a scarcity signal. Are they sending limitedness or abundance? If nobody is running scarcity, it is a significant differentiator for you. Maybe this is exactly where you stand out from those competitors and be like, well, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna do a completely limited edition releases, at least for a few times until I test what works, what doesn't work. What are the customer words? What is the occasion framing? Are they selling for gifting, self-purchase, milestone, or daily wear? And I really hope that if you have joined multiple of my previous webinars, I really hope that you stop saying that your jewelry is for everyone, because it's not. That your jewelry is for women between 25 and 65, because it's not. And I can talk about this for so long, but I really hope that occasion framing becomes your next step of focus after having cleared out the whole target audience dilemma and understanding what your ideal client persona is. What are the unanswered questions that they have? What questions go ignored in their comments by potential buyers? And also, what is your statement? So this is probably the most important part of everything I've just spoke about when it comes to competitor research. What is your statement? So if you could write down a sentence starting with, I make this and this product for this and this person who wants this and that. Every single collection will be different. Every single creator, the jewelry creator, is going to have a different sentence. So if you can't say it in one sentence, the market won't understand it. And I've learned it a hard way that the easier things are, the easier things are for you to say, the easier other people are going to understand them as well. So I want you to focus for 2 minutes and create your statement right now. I make, describe the product, for, describe the person, and who wants this and this outcome. So for example, my name is Auguste. I create vermeil gold rings for oh my god, why am I buffering so much? Okay, my name is I'm Auguste. I make gold vermeil rings for women in their 30s who want to feel confident, right? It's kind of like an elevator pitch that every business owner should kind of like have in their mind. So again, I'm gonna go to the comment section and I really want you to write down, I make this and this product for this and this person who wants this and that. let's try. Is it clear? I feel like I really like messed up there in my head. It is hard. It is so hard. But imagine if you don't know what your core product is, who you sell it for, and what that person is made to feel. How's that person going to understand who you are and what your essence is, right? So for example, I see people from brands with very specific messages who genuinely help overcome grief, for example, or who allow to create bond with their families. And this is their selling point, you know, and it's such a strong one. And if someone asks them about, okay, who are you, what jewelry you make, this is exactly what they would have to, what they would say. So for example, we have Sarah who says, I make demi-fine jewelry for women in their 40s who want to feel elevated every day. Easy. It's kind of like a bing bang bomb, right? You say it. Someone approaches you on the street and says, oh my God, I love your necklace. Where did you get it from? And you say, well, my name is Sarah, and this is my brand, and I make demi-fine jewelry for women in their 40s who want to feel elevated every day. Are you that woman? Do you want to buy from me? Kind of a thing, you know? Okay, maybe not that harsh, but you sell yourself in that way. Okay, Head is saying, I make colored diamond everyday jewelry for young mothers who want access to rarity. Okay, this is so niche. Exactly. This is exactly what I'm talking about. Or Lydia is saying, I make bespoke engagement rings for couples who want to celebrate their love with artistry and intention. It's beautiful, right? Najaf, Fadak, I am Goldsmith's granddaughter. I am 13 and I love making jewelry. You're 13. Wait, what? This is amazing. Well, welcome. You're in a very, very good company here. Mia is saying, I make timeless jewelry for the modern minimalist who wants to elevate their everyday ritual. Okay, I see those elevator pitches, smooth like butter. So anyone who hasn't thought about theirs, please do. Maria is saying, Maria make creative and playful jewelry for people looking for more accessible but unique handmade jewelry. This just rolls off the tongue so nicely, right? So when another time someone comes to you and asks you what you do and what your jewelry is all about, have that one sentence. I make this for people who want to feel like this and that, right? Oh my goodness, this is fantastic. Okay, let me share the screen again. I'm gonna go through everyone's replies later. Don't get lazy, keep on thinking, and hopefully you come up with this, you come up with a perfect answer for yourself. Okay, we go present, full screen. Okay, so this is competitor research and positioning. It's extremely important that you do dedicate your time and get that organized. And sometimes you might feel like, oh, competitors, some people see other jewelers as competitors. It's like, oh, I don't want to share the audience. I don't want to, to share the way that, I present things with them. But in reality, you saw how big a jewelry market is. And from your personal taste, from your personal experience, how every single person has their own little quirk and they like different things. And in the end of the day, they don't come to you for jewelry. They come to you, for the story that you tell about the jewelry, for the way that you make those people feel. For example, I still remember, it's so random, I still remember when I was maybe 14 or 15 years old, and I went to this local market in Lithuania that we have every summer. And I saw this simple black clay piece with like a horoscope stamp on it. And I really wanted to get it. And my parents got it for me. And the person who made it, he approached me and he put it on me. And I felt so connected with the person who made this beautiful piece for me. Every single time I even looked at it in the mirror, it just flooded my body with this like happiness and good energy. And it wasn't anymore about, it's just like a nice piece. It was this connection with a random stranger that I had, whilst making a purchase. And as independent makers, people who actually managed to get that one-on-one experience with talking to the clients, which so many huge brands don't have. You have this power in you to, you know, attract people for yourself and your story, as well as the beautiful pieces that you make. Okay, that was a very weird tangent out of the main topic. But what I wanted to talk about when it comes to kind of competitive way of seeing other jewelers, what I personally encourage for you to not, because look at Missima and Monica Vinader. Missima's on the left, Monica Vinader on the right. Even though, okay, the visuals look pretty similar, they have exactly the same market, exactly the same price point, but they don't have an overlap. Missima owns a playful stacking kind of part of the jewelry industry. Monica Vinader owns personalized gifting. They both managed to scale to 8-figure revenues in one way or another, but they both have their own audiences. They both cross, and everyone's happy. So don't worry about the competition. If anything, being there for each other will make you grow so much more than thinking and looking at other as a competitor. The competitor analysis is just called competitor analysis, right? Okay, now let's move to content strategy. I want to start with something that is very, very true and very, very false at the same time. And this is that you should be posting every day, with one post every single day with 3 to 5 story batteries during the launch. And I agree, if that is something that you've been doing up till the launch point. If you haven't, that is just going to mess your algorithm up. So I went for a sneaky view with PD Paula at PD Paula's thing. Why am I not? Okay, so they're one of my favorite brands in Spain that I absolutely love. Their visuals, creative direction, everything that they do. Oh no, I can't. Okay, so I'm gonna leave this as your homework. Go to PD Paula and see what they're doing right now. They started their campaign with a video. It's a beautiful, slow, kind of showing the model wearing multiple pieces video. Then it's followed by the photo shoot cycle, exactly from the same set that the video was created. It wasn't something different. They showed exactly the same. Then they moved from focus on the earrings to bracelets, then to more earrings, but a different piece. Then they moved to another bracelet focus and earring again. So they kind of like bounce between products, back and forth, mixing videos and mixing carousels. Now, my biggest reminder is that I really hope that every single person in here doesn't post single posts anymore. Instagram now is just for reels and for carousels. Reels are absolutely great. However, I feel like carousels now see a much bigger leverage because you can add alt text in there and increase your discoverability by multiple different engines just by adding that alt text in advanced settings when posting your things. So I 100% recommend mixing between those two mediums. And as a reminder, Reels outperform static posts around 3 to 5 times. Considering that carousels are now even stronger than Reels, imagine the combination of two, how that would allow you to perform. So regarding the content strategy, considering that we are incorporating the campaign, sorry, it's very late for me now. Considering we are incorporating campaign approach to your new release, we really want to focus on a photo shoot with minimum 30 visual assets, minimum 30 visual assets per campaign. For example, you saw PD Paula, they launched, I want to say there were maybe between 6 to 8 pieces, and they have already done a series of how many, 6, 7 posts, and they're still ongoing. So the carousels would have around 4 to 5 static images in there mixed between model and product. And they had a couple of videos. They didn't focus on videos as much this time, actually. Oh, and what I wanted to say about PD Paula as well was that one day, every day, bombarding everyone with stories, they decided that they're not going to do that because it's just not what they are all about. And if you go to the timeline of their posts, they post every 2 days, every 3 days, and they say, you know what? We're going to focus on high quality content, rarer, is that a word? Rarer, more rarely, rather than a lot of content batched every single day where the quality might suffer, right? But here are 5 main categories of content that you should have for every single launch. Product shots, okay, that's a no-brainer, right? For example, you're launching bracelets, you need a good product shot of your bracelets. You need, oh, there's actually not, I missed one. Okay, maybe we can combine. We can combine product shots and model shots. Absolutely essential. Product shots showcase the simple setup of multiple jewelry pieces that you might be launching, while the model shots show how those jewelry pieces are going to look on a person or on a real person. This is where scale and understanding what it's all about really is really important. I don't know, I feel like I've just sounded like a ChatGPT or something when I said I just created a sentence without saying anything with it. Okay, you know what I mean. Product shots, model shots. Then we really need founder images and process content. So this is where the craft, we kind of introduce the craft that justifies the price. People buy from makers that they feel connected to, like that person that I bought my necklace from, right? I felt connected to the maker, and you have this leverage. Unlike every single big brand out there, you have the leverage to show up for your buyers. Then we have styling and lifestyle. The life your buyer wants is essential to show. Make the aspiration visible before the product page goes live. And this is exactly why when I said before about the target audience, if you remember, when I said that you can't have your target audience as everyone or women between 25 and 65, because the lifestyle aspiration that a 25-year-old person would want and a 65-year-old person would want, they're completely different. I want completely different things now that I wanted 5 years ago. And I don't expect a 50-year-old me to be wanting to lead a life that I'm looking up to right now. We change and we evolve as people. So if we target everyone, we'll end up targeting no one. And this is a phrase that I said so many times, but I still sometimes feel so unheard when I see brands, you know, saying, yeah, we target women who want to look beautiful. Well, yeah, every woman wants to look beautiful. You know, what are you talking about? So this is where your ideal client persona that has been really clarified needs to see that, okay, the product and the collection is really showing the lifestyle that I want to be a part of. Then we move to social proof and reviews. Credibility using, for example, influencer content or UGC content that we're going to be talking about in just a minute is absolutely essential. And then education. Why this? And this works specifically for more higher end products, especially with diamonds and gemstones, where people still need a lot of education to understand and to be convinced why is it that they need to spend a lot of money online without meeting you in person to make that purchase. Okay, let's move to my favorite part, which is something that we've been playing around with for the past few months so much, no matter how much I was trying to avoid it as a photographer and as a real life creator myself. But I really want to emphasize that photography and AI visual production is absolutely essential for everyone. So back in the day, 5 years ago, so many jewelry makers could have said, yeah, I can't have good content for my release or for my launch because I don't have the financials to justify a £3,000 or dollar photo shoot. Fair enough. The budget is not there. There's no content. There's no content. There's no great sales. There's no great sales. There's no kind of return of investment like back into the company, right? It's a vicious circle. It's natural. But now we have AI. Now we have Nano Banana. Now we have Higgsfield. Now we have so many platforms that create amazing visuals. You just need to know how to write. You don't need to understand photography. You don't need to understand any crazy things. You just need to know how to write a good prompt in order to create something. And again, like I mentioned before, you might not necessarily need a financial investment. You need your own time and dedication to make this work. If you don't put that in, nothing's going to work. So first of all, I want to say that there's unlimited possibilities that AI can offer. For example, only when shooting in gold, you can use gold photos as master files, and then AI turns everything into every colorway. We can turn everything to white gold, silver, rose gold, whatever it may be. Previously, we've done that with Photoshop. It would have taken a non-professional maybe an hour. It would have taken a professional or anyone that's taken my courses like 30 seconds to make a conversion of gold from gold to any other material. Then we can do Photoshop Firefly AI, which is just what I said, using Photoshop without like crazy AI integrations. Then there's tools like Canva and Higgsfield. So this is where we can format the post or the content that we create into stories, carousels, ads, email headers without any reshooting or any extensive knowledge about Photoshop and cropping tools. And then again, we can just turn 6 pieces of content into 18 images. We can literally triple the content assets at the same production costs. And AI actually cuts costs by up to 80% if you do it correctly, and if you don't manage to chase people away because you're not trustable enough, right? We're going to talk about it in a second. So what AI does, and one of my favorite things about AI is actually when you can turn a photo into a moving image. This is Reels as in Instagram Reels goldmine that you can use. However, it's very important to understand that because this field is so new, a lot of restrictions are coming underway. So for example, 67% of consumers expect AI-generated imagery to be disclosed. The best way to do it would be framing it as craft intelligence and not a shortcut. What do I mean by that? Is the other day I was looking at this post and they said that, they mentioned that they don't create AI content, they produce AI craft or something. And then I realized that, you know what, AI is a craft, the same way that for me photography is a craft. Actually knowing how to create things with artificial intelligence is a craft in itself as well. So for example, the images below are made by two different AI content creators that we work with. And from working with them, I realized how much dedication, how much time, and how much craftsmanship it actually takes to produce not only good images, but images where the product that someone creates is reflected in a 100% perfect light. Also, a quick legislation reminder, New York is now the first state to legally abide, is that a word? Legally abide, people to disclose when content is AI in advertising. Otherwise, big fines can come their way. Now it's kind of a gray area, what we can do, what we can't do. But yeah, if New York is doing it, soon majority of the states are going to move the same way, and eventually it's going to come to Europe too. Okay. Right. Nano Banana Pro and Higgsfield. These two tools is something that you should know about. I don't know, you should be dreaming about them, you should be thinking about them, you should be doing everything with them. So this is an image it took me maybe 3 minutes to create. Okay, so this is a ring. I didn't take it. This is a screenshot of some engagement ring of the internet. And what I've done is I've created a prompt that allows the model of my imagination to wear this ring. So tell me if this is not a good place to start if you're a jewelry business owner who does not have a budget for a full-scale campaign that can take 24 days of your Instagram kind of like feed posting schedule. So what I mean by Higgsfield, okay, Nano Banana is very clear. You just put Nano Banana into Google, you got it. Higgsfield is my latest discovery, which, sorry, everything's signed out for some reason. Higgsfield is my latest discovery, which absolutely blew my mind. So you write a prompt here, you add anything that you want, like any reference images here, and it creates content for you. Now, some content is absolutely great, right? For example, this image right here, which had to be upscaled to be of better quality, enhanced to have the skin in a better texture, relit if wanted to. Also, there's a lot of bad content that you just have to play around with, right? for example, seeing this, I don't know why it added Vogue sign, it added a very weird fake ring. There's no skin texture, nothing in this image. But at the same time, you can create some wonderful things with it. On that upscaled photo that I've created has gone. Just by using one simple prompt that you master for your own brand, ideally. And let's dissect the prompt that I used here very, very briefly, so you understand what is it that you need to really focus on when creating prompts. First of all, you need to understand exactly what you want. It's kind of like manifestation or living life in general. If you don't know what you want, it's going to create you complete nonsense. You're not going to get what you want if you don't know what you want. Now, if you know that, okay, I need an image because it performed last time really, really well when we did a live campaign, a woman sitting very, very neutrally in this pose with very soft light, soft background, because this really works for my brand, you say it, but you say it in photographical language. And this is where AI can actually help you write the prompts in itself. You don't have to be a photographer yourself. So here we focus on the fact that this is a close-up editorial beauty photograph of a young woman describing the model in as much detail as possible. Is her hair long? Is her hair short? Is it tight? Is it loose? What color is her skin? What color are her eyes? What size are her lips? Every single thing should be described. Now, if you put the reference image of your product into Nano Banana or Higgsfield, you need to also describe the product. So, okay, we have a single oval cut diamond solitaire ring, approximately 2 carats, set in an 18K yellow gold simmed shank with a hidden pavé diamond halo. Anyway, you describe it like in a very, very detailed way before describing the actual camera settings. So this is what you can do ideally, is find a photo that you really like on Pinterest, upload it onto any AI model. It can be Gemini, ChatGPT, Claude AI, whatever it is that you use, and ask what settings are they using in this photo. Give me the settings, and then you add them right here, right? So we need everything from what kind of lens it is. Quick hint, 100mm is the best for any jewelry photography. So you can immediately just use 100mm if you want like a nice close-ups like this. What's the ISO, what's the white balance, and all of that stuff. It's important that you also add a negative prompt. So we say no to AI skin smoothing, no plastic texture, no beauty retouching, no distorted fingers, no additional jewelry. Yes, you have to mention these things, because if you don't, this model would have had extra random earrings, more rings, maybe like a nose piercing, all of the things that you don't think about not to ask. Then when it comes to changing color, AI can do that now as well. If you have a high enough quality image to upload, again, use a prompt. You can screenshot it and reuse it for yourself. It does a fantastic job. Now, ideally, you always convert from gold to silver or white gold, not vice versa, because then the gold color is going to be distorted. Things are going to get messy. It's not going to look realistic. But from gold to white gold or rose gold, no problem. So here we also want to mention that we want the exact same ring photograph, identical composition, identical angle, identical lighting. Yes, you have to say it 3 times, but with the balance setting rendered entirely in white gold instead of yellow gold. And again, we describe everything again. Here, the kind of camera settings are not as important as they are in model photography or like more creative product photography, because the fact that you're already saying that identical lighting is needed is going to understand it, but at the same time it's good to reiterate those things. For example, here's the content that we've created for a client. Literally, this is our last AI project, using this exact image from the pieces. This exact image, we created a nice ear shot and product shot. I think we actually used another angle of this one as well. This was just like the primary e-commerce shot. Anyway, but this is what you can do just using AI and actually investing your time into creating things, right? Now, when it comes to launch management, there are multiple tools. I personally say that if you are not using Claude AI, What are you thinking? If you don't have this bad boy installed in your laptop, this is your shout to quit everything that you've been doing up till now, go to Claude.ai and actually start working with it. It is going to change your life 100%. How can, in this example, Claude assist you with your launch management? Multiple reasons, but here are the main ones. All caption variations for tease, reveal, and launch week. Yes, it can write captions. The full 5 email launch sequence. Yes, it can write emails. It can even send them out for you so you don't have to design or do anything, because it does connect to Canva, it does connect to Shopify, it does connect to every single thing. Product descriptions for human readers and AI search. Now, this is very important. When you manually write the product descriptions, a lot of the time, some people go to full details of like the details. Some people go to more creative and soulful descriptions. What Claude or any model can do is they focus on, okay, what works best for both AI searches, SEO, and human readers, and create the perfect mix of all. Then it can create blog posts with long tail SEO keywords timed for launch, waitlist, sign up page copy, all of the captions for your Instagram posts, competitor audits. Yes, if you've done the screenshot of all my questions, you can upload it to Claude and it will give a very thorough competitor audit for you. Long tail SEO keywords by material, stolen occasion, your positioning statement, what I asked you to do yourself right now, it can be done by AI. All of these more personal things that connect you with your brand, I don't recommend outsourcing it to AI because people are going to start feeling it. But if you're really struggling, or if you just simply don't have any mind space for it, yes, you can use it for that. Pinterest pin descriptions with embedded keywords. If Pinterest marketing is not something that you've been doing up till now, what have you been waiting for? 4-week launch calendar in under 10 minutes, it can be done. And also AI image creation prompts for visual production. Now, the way that Claude works, or any AI model works, is that they don't create things out of thin air. You have to create an employee for yourself by uploading your brand guidelines, by answering every single question possible about your business, about letting it understand your visual language and your verbal language, kind of creating the world of your business that it can use to create outcomes that actually help you move forward, right? Okay, then we move to audience and community building. But first, we're 10 minutes over. I want to see if people are still awake, if you're not bored, and if you would like for me to move a little bit faster. I think I have like 7 more slides. Would you, oh, Claude is not active. How is everyone doing? Would you like for me to make everything faster? Or would you like for me to just take my time and kind of like dive in? All good? Take your time, take your time. Okay, dive in. Okay, perfect. I'll take okay, fantastic, thank you. Because I don't want to cut any information out, and I feel like, I don't know, I just like want to share so much. Okay, perfect, thank you guys. Let me continue sharing, present, full screen. Okay, then we move to audience and community building. This is absolutely essential, and this is exactly the customer journey that works for majority of jewelry brands. Am I sharing everything? I am sharing. Okay, sorry. So first, your audience finds you and discovers you either organically or through ads. Then they move to emotional attachment, where, okay, they see something they like, they see a piece of jewelry that they click save for later. Then with a wait list, they start committing to you, okay? If a person signs up to your wait list, it means maybe they're not ready to buy just yet, but they're interested in what you have to say. They're interested in seeing, okay, what's gonna get released. Then with early access open window, which is around 72 hours or 48 hours, whatever you decide, they make a purchase decision to purchase it or not. But the fact that they're already in the wait list means that they're curious, you know? So keep on pushing them and keep on moving them forward. And once the purchase has been made, they become your advocates. They start sharing, repurchasing, recommending, and becoming a part of the community that you create around advocating for your brands. Talking about community, I've just realized I haven't mentioned super briefly, we are actually releasing a one place for everyone to get together and actually be able to have more webinars like this in a nice and safe environment, so I don't have to bombard my Instagram and newsletter and all of that with all of the events and educational experiences that we have coming up. So we're going to open on 16th of, what month are we in? On 16th of April, we're opening a school community for any independent jewelry business makers who want to continue watching these webinars for free and continue diving deep into discussions on what works, what doesn't work, and share their experiences on what they launched, what worked, what didn't work, and all that stuff. I'm going to tell you about this a little bit later, but I just wanted to mention this because I mentioned community and I was like, oh wait, we're launching one, it's going to be amazing. So yeah. Okay, so once the customer journey is done, I really want to share 3 facts. One is that warm audiences convert 10 times more, 10 times the rate of cold traffic. So you have an option to try to reach cold audience and people who have never heard about you through ads, which is fantastic way of doing it. But at the same time, you have option number 2, which is engaging with people for the window of 4 weeks of the launch period. That already know you, that know your story, that know how you work, that know your voice, that know kind of like they have the insights of what your brand is all about, right? So what about we kind of start converting cold leads, like use the cold lead costs and move them towards nurturing the warm ones, the people who already are bonding with us, right? Then we have the pre-launch engagement. We want to really ask people what they think about the colorways, what they want to kind of like advise us, what advice they would like to give us about, you know, releasing the collection. We want to share behind the scenes with them. We want to share the stories, everything that has to do about making the collection. We want to turn this into community content. Each piece of content is a micro commitment from a future buyer in reality. Okay, and then moving off social, and this is why wait lists are so important and newsletters are so important as well, even for those who haven't seen much performance with them, because social reach is borrowed. And this is something you really, really need to understand. Social reach is borrowed. One day, if Instagram goes away, if Facebook goes away, if TikTok goes away, how do clients find you? Where do they go? Email, more or less, is yours. Being able to connect with those people that follow you on Instagram, that have purchased from you before, people who might be wanting to purchase from you in the future, having them in a close environment for yourself makes so much sense. Every follower moved to email before launch day increases your conversion probability by an order of magnitude. Magnitude. Okay, talking about wait lists, early access and sales windows. First, we need to segment your list. Newsletter subscribers, waitlist signups, right? Subscribers want offers and news. Waitlist people are ready to purchase, so move them automatically to a separate segment. Next time you're going to do another launch, you're going to invite more people to it and more people to it and more people to it. So these are the people that are already literally giving you a sign, hey, I want to buy. I'm here not just to look at how beautiful your jewelry is, but I'm interested in purchasing, okay? So these are the people that need to be targeted, slightly different to the people that are here for the discounts, right? Then we have early access window, which is 24, 48, or 72 hours, depending on how big you are. 24 to 48 is absolutely perfect. So public launch is what's left after your community bought first. So be loud about it. Why should someone who has been a part of your journey be treated the same as someone who barely knows you exist, right? Give them that thank you for being a part of me gift. Then we have sales window mechanics. What are sales window mechanics? There's 3 main ones. There's limited quantity drops. Only 10 pieces and the wait are available, and the wait list will get it first. Blue Jay, what? 2 J's do that absolutely fantastically. The number of times I went through their wait list to their website during the launch, and the pieces have already been gone. It's absolutely crazy. You see this a lot during Black Friday as well across industries. Then we have time-bound early pricing, and we have bundle bonuses for the first 24 hours. If you make it limited and you actually give a good deal to people and you make them feel exclusive and a part of a club that other people are not of, they will want to be a part of your community so much more. So it's really important to understand that after the window closes, there's no more special offers. The honoring scarcity trains the next launch. Now, there are two conversion benchmarks that I really want you to understand, because, okay, you create a wait list, and what do you do with this data, right? Like, some people have bought, some people haven't bought. What should you expect, right? So if you receive a lot of cold website traffic, for example, no wait list, nothing, the cold website traffic to purchase conversion is under 1.5%. And I have some bad news for you, because in e-commerce category, I'm talking clothes, vitamins, interior, whatever, it's the lowest. Because jewelry is a high consideration product, especially when you're selling something on a more high-end price tier, right? So conversion is under 1.5. 1.5% of people that go to your website potentially buy something. So if you have 10 people coming into your website a month, that kind of means that no one really buys anything, right? If you have 100 people coming to your website, one person, most likely, if there's no bottlenecks on the web, will eventually make a purchase. Now, when it comes to waitlist signups, that's the interesting thing. If you move a person to a waitlist, their conversion to purchase is between 5 to 25%. So let's say we can say average at 15%, right? So you have two options. You can just get people called in from the internet, and 1 in 100 will purchase, or you can move people from the waiting list to the purchase window, and 15 people are going to buy a product. Now, fun fact: this number drops below the 10% if launch is more than 3 months after sign up. Let me repeat that again. So if the launch of the jewelry piece is later than 3 months after someone signed up, the conversion rate drops under 10%. Now, Astley Clark, I'm sure most of you are familiar with this brand, version is actually over 40%, which is absolutely incredible. I don't know how they do it, but they managed to do it, which means it's possible, okay? A waitlist is a psychological commitment. So people who sign up are already buyers, so you should treat them like VIPs. Personal email, early access window, exact piece count that makes scarcity real. Okay, UGC influencers and collaborators. First, I want to make a separation. What is a micro influencer? What is a macro influencer? You probably have heard it a lot around. So micro is high engagement and niche targeting. They drive actual sales. And in this case, a person with 8,000 followers in jewelry industry is so much better for you than someone that has 400,000 followers from 100,000 followers on social media. They have a massive reach and brand visibility. They work really well for mass campaigns and brand authority. And they're also better for awareness, but not necessarily conversion. So if you want to tell people that, hey, like we have this beautiful brand and we exist without wanting to sell a product, yeah, maybe they're great for it, but ideally you should be moving to the smaller creators. So there's 2 stages when it comes to UGC creators and influencers. Before launch, so in week -1, remember we have -2, -1, 0, and 1. So in week -1, we really want to make sure that all of the influencers that you want to work with have your hero piece, and at least 3 to 5 influencers are talking about this. We're talking about like a nice, good, solid, tasty launch, right? Third-party voices saying that I've seen this piece, I'm buying it as soon as the waitlist opens. It really makes people commit to becoming a part of your waitlist as well, and it increases the signups. Now, stage 2 is once the wait is over, and this is during the launch week. This is week 0. So this is when UGC goes live alongside your own content. Real people wearing the piece in real time invite everyone else in. So yeah, for example, Ottenberg, they're absolutely fantastic at this. They gifted pieces to women with like 5 to 30K followers in fashion and lifestyle with no return asked. And of course they delivered because A, the pieces are beautiful, B, they were completely free. And yeah, why the hell not? This is one of my favorite examples. So Ring Concierge, again, many of you will be familiar with them. They did a collaboration in May 2025 with Melbourne Golf. They are a golfing clothes brand. That they have around 300,000 followers on Instagram, I think. So the release was so simple. It literally said, we're sporty now. And they sold out in 10 minutes. The right audience, overlap beats size every time. Take 2 big audiences and rock and roll. I can hear someone's microphone, by the way. If you can turn it off, that would be awesome. Okay, this is a table that I borrowed from Dizio.co. This is the most insane table that you can just literally screenshot because it shows how many influencers, what is the reach, how many impressions, and how many engagements all of these jewelry brands have had in the past. I think this is from 2023, the data. Okay, we're almost done actually, so get your questions ready. Email marketing sequence. Okay, this is extremely important. Now, considering you, by this time, you have already fed Claude, ChatGPT, or Gemini with all of the information that you have about your brand, they understand what works best for your audience. But as a standard, ideally, you really want to work with a 5 email sequence. And Miss Summer is a perfect example. They do that no matter what. Literally no matter what. They do their 5 email sequence. It's teaser, waitlist, launch, urgency, and thank you. Abandoned cart email is 3 lines, 1 button, and no images. And the converts, this sequence converts around 3 times the standard campaign rate. So just like this, you start with a teaser during week -2, then you release waitlist invite at week -1. Waitlist can also be sent to your newsletter subscribers, as well as anyone that follows you on Instagram. Then at week 0, day 0, we open the doors for public launch. The waitlist has already bought, like remember, 24, 48 hours before this. Then we have urgency email. This is where we share hard numbers, real scarcity. In 3 sentences, 1 button with no images, no fuss, we say facts. 24 hours remaining, this and this, how many pieces we have left. And eventually, post-launch, we say a nice thank you, goodbye, see you next launch. And this is what we have coming up next. Stay in tune, this waitlist is going to be reduced. Now, in terms of return of investment, for every $1 spent on email, around $36 to $40 return. Social media gets people interested, but email in the end of the day gets them to buy. And this is what is shown through tracking all of the conversions, at least in the past few years. Now, these are the 3 emails every jewelry brand must have. I'm going to upload this this whole document later in the community page. So yeah, feel free to screenshot it or feel free to wait until it's done. We have a welcome email, we have browse abandonment, and we have cart abandonment. If you create a launch and you don't have welcome email, browse abandonment, and cart abandonment emails ready, you are literally leaving money on the table. Starting with welcome email, over 83.6% of people open a welcome email. That is 4 times more opens and 10 times more clicks than any standard email ever sent. Welcome email is like the king of the castle, right? They produce around 320% more revenue per email than one-off campaigns. Browse abandonment emails. They are the warmest lead, they kind of target the warmest leads that you never followed up, right? So people who have browsed, they maybe looked at something, but they've never purchased. They said, you know what, I'm going to do it tomorrow morning. So this email should be triggered when someone views a product page, but doesn't add it to cart. And I'm sure you've done it many times yourself, right? These people already found you, already looked at a specific piece and left without committing. Send that email within 1 to 3 hours of them leaving your website. This converts at 3 to 5% warmer than almost any ad that you will ever run and invest in. And finally, cart abandonment. I'm sure many of you are familiar with it. Shopify has fantastic implementation of cart abandonment emails, and this one has the highest return of investment. Over 8 in 10 people who add a piece to their basket never buy. 8 in 10 people who add a piece to their basket never buy. Let that sink in. Jewelry has the highest cart abandonment of any industry at 81.68%. Cart abandonment emails recover it, so 45% of those get opened, 21% of those open ones get clicked, and 50% of clicks complete a purchase. Average conversion is 10.7%. 3 email series recovers 24.9 million versus 3.8 million from a single email. Let me repeat that. If you send one email, for example, only the cart abandonment one, in general, like not for every business, but in general, on average, it recovers 3.8 million of dollars. Now, a 3 email series that I've just mentioned, it recovers how many times? 8 times more, right? Which is absolutely crazy. Okay, this is the email section done. Extremely important. Extremely important. If you haven't had the email sequences ready, this is your sign to fully focus on it. Then we move to SEO and GEO, and I'm pretty sure this is the final one. SEO and GEO are absolutely mind-blowing things in terms of discoverability and how people find your products. So first, I want to separate the two because GEO is kind of a relatively new term. Now people have slowly started to understand that, okay, search engine optimization is like SEO is absolutely essential for me to have, but no one really like taps into GEO. So SEO is getting your content found by humans on Google, Bing, any kind of like platform like this. It also works for Pinterest, for example. The goal is to rank on search results pages for queries that your customers are already typing. GEO, this is where we get cited by AI tools, ChatGPT, Claude, Perplexity. The goal is to be the source that AI pulls from when someone asks a question, not just in a link, a list. So for example, a guy is about to propose to his girlfriend and he texts his ChatGPT best friend, how do I find the best ring for Sarah because I don't know what she likes, right? And ChatGPT has all of the information about the Sarah, about the guy, of everything, and they pull out information from the web, from the internet about, you know, some brand, and that brand can be yours. This is where GEO takes place, GEO optimization. Now, every product page is a landing page. Every listing page is a landing page. So in every bracelet page, right, you should have material, size guide, care instructions, and a paragraph about the inspiration, you know, the whole story, the human aspect of it all. This is what Google rewards, and that's what AI tools cite as well. What was it? It wasn't David Yellman. It was, who's the Cartier's great-grandson? Jean Doucet. So if you go to Jean Doucet's website, they do a very smart thing with product descriptions, which works so well for them in terms of SEO. They have a very general material, size guide, care instructions page. And then if you scroll down, they have a toggle that expands to this crazy AI optimized description that just works perfectly for GEO. And Pinterest SEO, again, is criminally underused in the school community that I'm going to share the invitation to for you guys. There's a webinar that we've done maybe a year and a half ago with Kriti. She's the loveliest Pinterest specialist that did the whole webinar for our community about how to rank high on Pinterest using content. And again, it's an art in itself, and it requires time, but with time you can start getting recognized, because if your images start getting recognized on Pinterest, Google will eventually start picking on that up too. And in the future, I'm sure Pinterest is going to be very heavily connected with the way that AI engines recommend products to buy, because Pinterest has a very well integrated shopping channel, which at the moment AI tools don't yet. Okay. Oh my goodness, I need some water. I've been going for like an hour and a half. This is exactly how to rank higher in SEO and how to get cited with GEO. I'm gonna go through everything super fast. So with SEO, write product descriptions with keywords that people actually search. It's not about timeless elegance or unique ring, engagement ring. It's about 14K gold vermeil stacking ring UK. Name image files before uploading. It should never be screenshot, which is often my case because I just screenshot my own images. Or image 455, it has to be gold vermeil ring.jpg. This matters. This is the language that Google and AI engines really understand. Fill in every alt text field with natural description. Use AI to describe this. Alt text is something that Shopify allows you to play around with. So make sure that alt text fields are filled everywhere. Write blog posts for every question your customer asks before buying. Get backlinks, so pitch to gift guides, press, editorial features. This boosts your website very, very quickly and heavily. Set up Google Business Profile, even if you're online only. Build internal links between blog posts and product pages. Keep on linking things between your website, right? Every product page must load in under 3 seconds on mobile. For this, you need to test things around, and your mobile must be optimized, flawless, ready to go. Collect Google reviews. Yes, it does matter. Even if you're a product business based that does not believe in Google reviews, you have to collect them purely for discoverability reasons. Add schema markup to product pages. Price, availability, reviews is a piece of code that, again, works as a language for discoverability. Target long-tail keywords. Ethical engagement ring under £1,000, or it definitely converts better than engagement ring, or how to find the perfect engagement ring for my girlfriend in the UK or in Notting Hill, or like the more specific you get, the better. Imagine you're a person who's actually trying to find valuable information online when writing your keywords and adding them into blogs or page descriptions or product page description pages, sorry. And then update old blog posts and publish new ones at least twice per month. That is bare minimum. So if you don't have a blog on your Shopify yet, this is your sign to get it done. Now, how to get cited with AI engines. First, write content in question and answer format. What is gold vermeil? Gold vermeil is la la la. Make specific, verifiable claims, not sustainable jewelry, but made from 100% recycled silver certified by whatever. Build a clear brand entity. Consistent name, bio, and description across every platform. I'm very guilty about that, okay? Because in some places I'm a creative house, in some places I'm a creative agency, in some places I'm like a jewelry marketing agency, in other places I'm jewelry jewelry photographer. It's a mess. AI struggles to understand who I am, right? If I'm everything but nothing at the same time. And it's exactly the same with you. If you are, in some places it says I'm a sustainable jewelry maker, in other places it says goldsmith, in other places it says independent jewelry creator, a part of this community. It doesn't work for AI this way. Then make sure you get your brand mentioned. It works exactly the same as for SEO, even without links. We're talking about forums, Reddit threads, editorial features. Get people talking about you. Get your name mentioned, ideally. Create a frequently asked questions page and answer every question fully in 2 or 3 sentences. Publish an about the process page with specific craft details that AI can cite. Make sure you're cited in press. A single Vogue post will boost you to a credible source in AI. Write content longer than 800 words on key topic pages. AI tools prefer depth over brevity. This needs to be analyzed, but recently I found out that the blog posts that perform best for us are actually the ones with more than 2,500 words in them. It's a lot of work. At the same time, AI can kind of help you do that as well. So yeah, look into the length that performs best for you, track that data, and use it in the future. Also, weirdly, AI likes when everything is very well structured. It's very clear what's H2, what's H3, how everything is structured on the blog or the post, so that they can kind of like understand how to extract the sections clearly. And then also publish original statistics or research. AI tools cite primary data sources above anything else. Oh my goodness, I think we're done. I think we're done. Bravo for you for sitting here for 1 hour, 36 minutes. Thank you so much for being so patient with me. Oh my God. So as a thank you, I would like to give a visual review giveaway. For those who are new here, I would like to just explain very quickly what is a visual review. This is where we sit down one-on-one and analyze your website and analyze your social media presence. So Instagram, well, mainly Instagram, and find the bottlenecks that stop people who discover you organically or through paid. What stops them from making a purchase, and what stops them from adding to the basket and actually checking out, right? So we sit down, I analyze everything and write down a to-do list of what needs to be done by you to move forward with the business. How to participate into this, because I know that some people that have joined, it's kind of like a mix. Some people have had a business for over 5 years, some people have been running very recently, and some people are just thinking about running a jewelry brand, right? So just to make sure that the people who enroll into this giveaway are the ones that will benefit from it the most, I would like to for you to join the community. Salome or Anna, maybe can you just add the link to the community in the chat right now that people can click, pop in there, and we need to approve you, just making sure that you're a business owner. Introduce yourself and your business, and with that introduction, you're gonna enter the visual review giveaway. Everything is going to be nice and clear in the email that we send you after this webinar, and I would love to actually, if you obviously allow, then to do the review in public, where we sit down with other jewelry businesses that probably deal with exactly the same issues as you, because from all of the visual reviews and audits that I've done in the past, I see a pattern, and that pattern needs to be broken. So if we could use this exact model to show people, okay, this is generally what needs to be changed and adjusted in this website, and this is what you should be doing, that would be absolutely fantastic. So the winner will be selected exactly 24 hours after the webinar ends. So make sure to go click the link now, sign up. We still need to approve you manually after checking who you are, what business you represent, just to make sure that you're valid to be a part of the community. And yeah, and then the review will happen live, so everyone can watch it in around 2 weeks' time. So this is an exciting opportunity for everyone. The community is called Ultimate Jewelers Playbook, where we're trying to find the name. Yeah, it was quite a journey, but I think it's a very, very good representation of what we're going to be all about. We're going to be all about play and actually discovering how to grow a business in a fun way, but also in a way that raises the standards for everyone. Because one thing I realized after looking at so many communities out there, and bear in mind, I'm not a community person myself, but I have so much to share with people that dives a little bit deeper than the basics of growing a business, right? Because it's very easy to share growth strategies and patterns with people who have barely any foundations, right? And I see that happening in so many communities. And this is a completely different audience than what we have here today. And this is why I'm inviting you, because you have already been running the businesses, or you have a marketing knowledge to move to the next level, to raise the bar of your standards and how you approach your business. So this is the community for people like you who just want to grow. So it's actually not open yet. Officially, we're only launching it in around 2-3 weeks time, but I just wanted to share this news, like exciting news with you, because we've been planning this for maybe a year and a half, like more even. So yeah, if you join in this period of time, you're going to become the founding member, and then we're going to be able to create even more beautiful things together, and and hopefully grow together. So now is the time for Q&A. Yes, Q&A. Let's dig in. I think we covered so many different topics, and I would love to hear what you think, and I would love to hear, what questions came to your head when I was digging into everything. Just seeing there's so many comments as well that I would like to read and go through. Can you share the recording, please? Yes, the recording will be placed in the community, and also all of the resources that we use and the resources that we're going to create from the information that didn't actually fit in here is going to be there as well. And it's obviously it's all free. It's just like a nice organized place for us to put all of our learning material too. Thank you for the webinar. Okay, the questions are beginning. This was very insightful. So I am new to this. I have my designs and a fresh social media account. How do I go about validating my product design before I go ahead to produce? How many products should be in launch collection? If you're talking about legal validation, I'm not the person to ask, in all honesty. I can tell you everything there is to know about marketing, photography, and growing and developing a business from that perspective. In terms of how many products should be in the launch collection, it varies. We work with brands that launch with 4 products. I work with brands that ideally wanted to launch with 150. Just because of the production capabilities. So there is no right or wrong. Ideally, you don't want to overwhelm people. The smaller and more boutique, the better. It depends on your price point as well. If you create exclusive pieces, start exclusively, and it's better to start with lower amount and keep on dripping the collections slowly and keeping people engaged rather than just, bam, here it is, 100 pieces, watch me roll kind of a thing, right? So smaller amounts, starting with hero pieces, which is what I mentioned in the main webinar, will work best. You create a hero piece and then you build a collection around it. You build a hero piece, you reveal the collection around it. Someone's saying the community link is not opening. Let's see if it works. Yeah, there's a link at the bottom as well.
Link works because people joined already.
Oh, perfect.
I have no idea.
Okay, so Demo, try again. It is working. Sarah is asking, how would you go about asking micro-influencers to help launch a campaign? Okay, so there's multiple ways to approach it, and one of my colleagues that is doing ads in the jewelry space, he has a wonderful UGC network, and they do crazy sold out collections. And one of the cases is literally connecting with smaller influencers, and I'm talking about even 3 to 4K followers kind of a thing, who create beautiful content, who don't charge like crazy. Make sure that you give something to them as well. No one is going to do anything for free. At the end of the day, we all need bread on the table, and no one does anything for free. If you can gift a piece, this is the easiest, cheapest way to go. If your pieces are of too high of a price point to be gifted, you have to give something back. You can try with much more smaller creators, which will work fantastically if you want to create brand awareness. yeah, if you want to create this beautiful brand awareness on TikTok, because one of the ways that, again, my colleague creates brand awareness before launches is he gets maybe 100 creators on TikTok and sends all of them the pieces for free and tells them, okay, you all say this and this and this on this particular day. And for maybe a week before the launch, there's 10 creators every single day in different continents, well, ideally in one continent, wherever your focused target audience is. They only talk about, oh my God, I received it, I just bought this piece, it's beautiful, and I can't believe, you know. And so it kind of creates this illusion that everyone's talking about it. And it's such a fantastic way that, again, this was a tactic that he used for multiple sold out collections, and it's just fantastic. So don't be afraid to come to people and ask them to do something for you without payment, but be ready to, you know, share a piece of your jewelry or custom work with them as well. What else do we have? I'd love to know, how can you get new followers, audiences to subscribe to your wait list and newsletter? Well, okay, this is a very good one, because first you want to make sure that the foundation of your business is 100% perfect. Now, it works with ads, it works with influencers, it works with 100% perfect content. If all of those things lead to a poorly functioning website or fully functioning business, they are going to just cost a lot of money and not give you any performance. So first of all, make sure that your business is 10 out of 10. There's nothing else to fix. The customer's journey is smooth and people can come and find things there without an issue, right? Now, once that's done, you can start working with storytelling. You can start telling people, okay, this is exactly what you're going to get. Instead of posting newsletters once every quarter when, you know, you have a new collection planned, create a structured newsletter that would actually make people excited and engaged. Like, we all receive so many newsletters every single day that are nonsense, right? We don't want to look at them. They annoy us. It's just frustrating. But 1 in 100 is a newsletter that we open, we read it, we get excited about it, and we want to open, you know, we want to wait for the next newsletter to come from that person. So create a system where you're that person, you're that 1 in 100. And through this whole newsletter kind of a network, you can then start inviting people to the wait list. But ideally, the newsletter is step 1. Step 2 is keep on mentioning the structure that you have for the wait list on social media, not 1 week before the launch, but 4 months before the launch, 5 months before the launch. Keep on telling people that, oh, hey, this is happening. Or if it's too early, because remember what I told about the conversions actually dropping by under 10% if the launch happens 3 months after the person joins this waiting list. Move everyone to newsletter, and then from newsletter, move everyone to the waiting list. You have to have a base of those email subscribers. This is the most important thing. And as well, on Instagram, instead of just posting once, hey, we have a newsletter, and that's it for a month, until next month, until you need something from those people, keep it consistent. Like, we've all heard this before. Consistency is prized above anything else on social media. And crazy thing is, it sounds so simple, but it's very difficult because life gets in the way, business gets in the way, and consistency is actually the currency that we have to pay in order to receive a lot back from our audience. I don't know if I answered your question. I really hope I did. Thank you so much. People have already joined. I'm so happy. Also, I'm excited to see you there. Someone saying, I didn't realize it would cover so much. A recording would be brilliant. I need to digest all of this. Okay, so we're actually going to do a digestion for you. We have been recording this webinar and we have a transcript. So we're going to be creating a blog post or a newsletter. I don't know, Anna Salome. We're going to do something with this information because there's so much value in this. And we're 100% going to share this with you. Will you be offering AI model services? Yeah, so model services, we actually have someone working on AI modeling agency, which we're going to be using on a regular basis to make sure that all the models have consistent faces, because at the moment, what we can do, we can create similar people, but not, create a full campaign with 60 images with exactly the same model yet. But in terms of AI services, we already do that. It's not on the website yet, but with just drop us a DM and then we can help you with that. Like you saw, the results is absolutely crazy what AI can do. Okay, so Morgan and Aya, playing on the scarcity principle, for example, only say 10 pieces are available, never restocked. What should that number be? Is 25 too small to be taken seriously? In my head, nothing's too small. Recently, I was so excited again. I didn't purchase, but I was so excited and joined the waitlist for a bracelet that only had how many pieces did they have? I think it was 20 pieces actually. It was from a Canadian. That's why I didn't purchase, because it was a Canadian company and they were too far away for shipment. But yeah, they did 20 pieces of this beautiful, beautiful design. And what happens with this extremely limited number is, if you know that in the past your collection hasn't sold like crazy, in the past, you would get around 20 sales whenever the launch happens, it is the safe number. If you know that, if you guarantee that, every time you release something, 50 people make a purchase within a month's time, you say, okay, I'm going to launch with 50 pieces. And then if you see that, okay, more and more people are inquiring about it, you can always re-release the same product a few months later, if you really see that the need is there. Jill, thank you. Auguste, you're always informative and generous. Oh, thank you. That was so nice. Amazing. Adelina is messaging saying, I took over a brand which focused only on producing beautiful, high-quality jewelry. Well, the social media presence was inexistent. Email marketing, inexistent. No model photos, no SEO. Ooh, that's a lot. Basically, no focus on branding, but great product portfolio. What to prioritize? How do you see a timeline for that? Okay, Adelina, this is what I said about the foundations. Foundations is everything. I have seen, in the past 8 years, I've seen so many brands that have products to die for. Literally never seen anywhere else, unique as hell. The charisma of the maker is through the roof, but there's no social media presence. There's the SEO or even the website is absolutely horrible. The truth is, no one is ever going to see them. No one. Like, a good product is not enough. Yes, there are cases that through network, through contacts, through luck, let's say, do make it out there. But that's 1%. What about the 99? And the crazy thing is that so many people don't put any focus on that because they think that the product is going to sell itself. There's so many brands out there that have equally as great product and a perfectly well-developed SEO system, email marketing, general marketing, social media, right? So I think it's just about understanding that if people are not going to buy from you, they're going to buy from someone else because they can actually find them through AI engines and through SEO. So yeah, the question was what to prioritize. Well, first prioritize the website. First, before even delving into social media is like a nice thing to have once the website is 100% optimized. Once the website is done, then you move to social media. This is how we work with developing agencies, with developing brands and developing, moving businesses from brick and mortar to online. First, the website. Once that's done, you don't have to worry about it anymore. Then you move to social media. Then you move to ads. If there's no good social media presence, but there's great ads, well, again, what are people going to? What are they going to follow if there's nothing that you're posting that is good, right? There's no value that you provide. So yeah, 100% website. Then you move to Well, with website comes photography, right? With website comes product photography, model photography, because you need to have beautiful category images. You need to have every single product shot on a model so people understand the size references for whatever you offer. Once that's done, ideally during the photo shoot that you do for the website, you manage to create campaign as well, campaign content that can be reutilized on social media too. Because a lot of the time, social media and web content is different. Yes, that's true. But let's be realistic. We want to reuse and recycle content as much as possible with AI incorporations, never fully AI when it comes to building a business that doesn't have a strong website portfolio. Oh, I hope I answered it. Do you put every product on social media in the launch week? Yes, 100%. 100%. Even ideally, you have in this case that I've explained, we have a hero product, which is the king of a castle. But every other product definitely needs a space to shine, for sure. Okay, then we have, okay. Awesome. Yeah, Anna has messaged that through Chocianaite.com we offer AI photography services and regular photography services as well. Sarah, follow-up comments to my question. I had a quote from a social media manager who quoted me 6K USD for one post. Okay, I'm in Canada, so that's a massive amount of money. Story post was 3K. Influencer has 300K followers, but this is an insane quote. How would you go about approaching influencers in this bigger following category? In reality, until you have a name for yourself, you will have to pay for whatever it is. In this case, is that something that is, first understand if that influencer is really someone that would benefit you. 6K for one post is, it sounds crazy, but it's actually not. In the influencer world, is a very normal money. I had clients spend over 200K per stories, not even posts. So, you know, it completely depends. That's why maybe moving to influencers that are in a range more of like 5 to 10K followers would perform better for you, especially if they clearly see a passion for jewelry. For example, was it Brilliant Earth? There's this company who collaborated with a nail artist who has 300,000 followers, and she was just basically posting. All she did was posting photos like of her hands, showcasing her nail art, and obviously she once in a while would put rings on there. And I think the company just sent a bunch of products for her for free to choose, and yeah, and the collaboration was absolutely brilliant because it was free, and the nail artist photos ended up looking much more fantastic, and the brand got so much more exposure as well. Okay, Johanna is saying, I work for a high jewelry brand that does mostly handcrafted, one-of-a-kind pieces. Is there any special advice in terms of social media approach while presenting limited pieces? Yes, make it exclusive, 100%, like move with the limited drop model. And with all of these beautiful pieces, that there's only two ways that this high-end jewelry will ever sell. Is either by having a very consistent, very, very, very consistent visual direction, which can combine both high-end content and DIY content, but having that recognizability in terms of the brand, or on the other hand, having extremely, extremely good content. Because if you have a high-end brand where your photos are low-end, there's a mismatch. You know, no one's gonna trust that you're worth investing that amount of money into the business. Now, if you're high-end, your content screams high-end, there's no bottlenecks on the website, it's all smooth sailing. So the question was, is there any special advice in terms of social media approach while presenting limited pieces? Make it look like it's luxurious from A to Z. It has to represent. The photos have to be absolutely meticulous. I'm thinking if there's any deeper advice I can go through. I think for high-end pieces, Yeah, the waitlist is absolutely essential. The limited edition is absolutely essential as well. The more limited, the better. Because, for example, if your audience is ready to invest without even thinking $6,000 dollars into a piece online, well, they need to be made to feel special, right? So think from that perspective. A person wants to be treated very, very, very well if they're ready to spend that amount of money, or even more. I don't know what brand you work with. So yeah, awesome. Leanne, thank you so much. Najaf, for the new jewelry brand which is going to launch online, what ad and social media marketing budget should be there in the UK? That's a very good one. I would like to know more about the price point of the pieces that you're launching, because luxury market and I don't know, like pieces that sell for around 100, 200, it's slightly different when it comes to advertising strategies. Well, not slightly, quite a lot different. I lost you. I lost you. I mean, advertising is absolutely key. In terms of advertising, I always say that the bare minimum spend for ads should be 200, it's not 200, 2,500 pounds. Don't even try to play with 200, 300 for A/B testing. Those are not going to give you any results as an e-commerce business. If you want to see real results, 2,000, 2,500 is the bare minimum that you should be putting into advertising in order to see the results. That's when your ROI is going to start being really, really, really visible by month 3. So yeah, because I try to, I talk to so many brands and I see their development journey so much. And you can start with investing little with ads, but your growth journey is going to be 10 times longer than for a brand that saves a lot of money, saves some cash, gets investment, and launches with a bang. It's always the case, There's slow growth, there's fast growth. There's 2 ways, and it's up to you to decide, which path you're willing to take. Okay, any suggestions to convert followers to your newsletter? Yes, talk about it. The crazy thing is that no one really talks about their newsletters because they feel like e-commerce brands and jewelry brands, like, it feels too salesy. It definitely isn't. Share exciting things in the newsletter. Make people excited to come to it, Offer much more than just discounts. Turn it into a little club that people would be excited to be a part of. Turn it into stories. Like, again, if you follow Medjugorje or Misama, they are so great at storytelling through email and creating a separate campaign overviews through all of that. Okay, Tanjina is asking, is 3 months too early to start building a wait list? When would you suggest would be a good time to start building to maintain interest? Completely, I don't want to be that person who says depends all the time, right? But it does really, really depend on the size of your existing audience and existing sales. So ideally, you start building a wait list now. If you I'm talking nonsense. Start inviting people to your newsletter now, and start inviting people to your wait list. Maybe, I don't know, I want to say maximum 1 month before the launch. Ideally, the wait list goes live like 2 weeks before launch. But if your clientele is a little bit slower to nurture and you're running ads on a regular basis, then it can be a little bit earlier. Okay. Oh yes, Anna also has mentioned that we have a Q&A, more Q&A sessions on our school community. So every month, depending on the attendance and how many people join and how many people have questions about growing their brands, we are going to host 1 or 2 Q&A sessions per month, where we all just get together with cameras on, actually sharing what we've achieved. Because, okay, I haven't shared enough about the community, right? Because we're going to set ourselves goals, and we're going to have little midpoint, like, check-ins to see how we've, what we've done to achieve those points, and if there's anything that has gotten in the way, how we can solve it, right? So the Q&A sessions in the community are going to be a perfect place for this exactly thing. Sarah is saying, P.S. I love your earrings. Thank you. I got them in Mexico in January. I love them so much. I feel like they're banging to the headphones a little bit, but it's okay. Thank you. Awesome. Thank you. Very reassuring for a new business. I like to say, amazing. Welcome to the team. Any new business is a very exciting. I was saying to someone the other day that building a new business now is the most exciting thing that anyone can do. Is such a fun time to be building everything with AI and with all the opportunities that we have as individuals. That's we can use all of these opportunities without third parties. Everything's in our hands in reality. Already joined the group. Amazing. Looking forward to learning more. Perfect. Mashid is asking, when the products are already created and placed on the website without following your launch plan, does it make sense to go backward and build up the momentum for launch? You can always relaunch it. You can always have seeded launches. For example, we had a wonderful client who had so many SKUs, and half of them were completely unrecognizable by SEO. No one really knew about them because they were so deep inside of the business, and no one really knew about it. So what we decided to do is to build up a collection of whatever there was, keep everything on the website, just optimize everything for SEO, and just kind of like clean everything up, create new content, and release them fresh, like they never existed, So yes, 100%. See, the launches of existing items can be done 100%. Okay. More educational content in the newsletter. Yes, Anna shared also our educational newsletter that is different to, well, we have two newsletters. We have one for the general, like, for example, what's happening in the jewelry space, and also we have a newsletter specifically for jewelry photography and education and all of that stuff. Okay, I think I've come to the end. I've come to the end of everything. Yes, Salome mentioned there will be monthly webinars covering different topics in the community as well. This is going to be a good place to be, 100%. So I hope I can see you there and talk to you there during the masterminds and Q&A sessions like this one. And Morgan and I, last question. Does your launch strategy also work on pre-order? Yes, absolutely. So you have to modify everything to work for your business model, but pre-order is a fantastic way, especially to manage kind of like the flow and the capacity on how much jewelry you can create, right? So it has to be adapted in one way or another, but 100%. Okay, awesome. I think that's it. We reached the end. Will this recording be released to community in 21 days or sooner? Sooner. We're going to be releasing it, well, ideally tomorrow after we had some good sleep. Yeah, it's going to be out there very, very soon. Amazing. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much for joining. For all the last people that have stood here like for 2 hours and 7 minutes exactly, you are absolute rock stars. I'm gonna go have a beautiful dinner now and some wine. So hopefully you have a beautiful day and beautiful or night or morning, whomever it's 6 in the morning right now, right?